morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about what happened to date throughout the annals of recorded history. Join us as we delve into yesteryear, not only for interesting and important happenings, but to possibly even answer questions you don't know you have. I am Aoxander.
King's Refuge.
And...
The Golden Loon.
Yeah, it's slightly off camera, but yeah, he's here. And of course, you viewer are you. Thank you so much for joining us. Whether it's live or at some other point in the space-time continuum, it is irrelevant. A view is a view. And a human view, is, one you can really speak to, so to speak, Although, with how we program AI and whatnot, would that mean that AI listens to us a lot more than the fellow humans do? That's a serious question, actually. But anyway, today is Saturn's Day, aka Saturday, September 14th, 2024. So, good Sir King, would you care to start us off today?
Alright. Give me a million.
Alright. Yeah. I see he's adjusting his camera and such. So while he's doing that, gonna start off here in the year 81. Domitian became emperor of the Roman Empire upon the death of his brother Titus. Alright. 726, Ajpashwa Lakam official dedicated his hieroglyphic stairway in the Maya city of El Palmar, commemorating his diplomatic mission to Kapan for the king of Kalakamul. Alright, so it said here Maya, so Mayan. So Mesoamerica, Aztec, Maya, Inca, all that jazz and everything. Oh. 1682, Bishop Gore's School, one of the oldest schools in Wales, was founded. That's that's rather radical name, Bishop Gore's School. Like, are we dressing bishops for dinner, so to speak? Like,
what?
Bishop Gore, like a pig on a hook.
Okay.
You're dressing it, you're curing,
What's with the hat, by the way?
I don't know. I just saw it over there. I'm just like, I'm gonna put it on.
Okay.
I really, because I have it.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Sir King, are you situated?
Alright. Where are we at?
We are now in 1687.
1687, French officer Louis Armand de la Marche, Baron Lohanton, arrives at Fort St. Joseph, modern-day Detroit, as its new commander. A year later, abandons and razes to the ground. Ooh.
Dang. Well, that's not a good leader there.
1716, first lighthouse in American colonies lit at Harbor Bay.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first lighthouse lit.
Yeah, on the American colonies.
Had to be candle power.
Yeah. 1716, wow.
Had to be a big old candle.
Yeah.
Really big candle.
You know what? I'm going to look this up.
Biggest candle I've ever seen.
It's the biggest.
The biggest.
It's the biggest candle you've ever seen. I promise you that.
It's the biggest. It's the greatest. It's about time.
Oh, here we go. So this is apparently a picture of the lighthouse. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, September 14, 1716. The first lighthouse in America is lit in Boston Harbor, and that's a picture of it. And
yeah.
I wonder. This can't be the same one because this one is
It's
clearly in the water.
Yeah.
And this one here is very much not in the water. So,
they're very similar.
Yeah. I wonder if they moved it or something.
High tide, low tide? That's a lot of tide.
That's one hell of a tide, man. In 1716 they had wooden built structures that were watertight? I don't think so. Because you're fully submerged. You don't even see a roof there, man.
Man, that's high tide.
Woo! Oh. What else do we got?
1741, George Frederick Handel finishes his Messiah Oratorio after working on it nonstop for 23 days.
Wow. He was a man dedicated to his work. Yeah. 1752 here, Britain and the British Empire, including the American colonies, adopted the Gregorian calendar after skipping the 11 days between September 3rd and September 13th. And there's as I mentioned...
11 days?
Yeah. They just... Because they're flipping calendars and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But there's this, whole theory, and it's backed by actual tangible evidence. Like, we have 12 months. We have a 24-hour day and all that stuff. But when you really calculate it, we have to add a leap year every 4 years, to compensate for. But think about
That's
it.
as close as we could get.
Okay, but October is the 10th month, correct?
Correct.
But what is Octo? 8.
Yeah.
December is supposed to be 10, but it's 12. So we're off by 2 entire months. If we go to a 13 or 14 month system and have every month 30 days exactly, and then alter the day hours to 24 and a quarter hours a day, then everything will be on precision perfectly forever. Until the Earth drifts away from the sun, by a certain amount or something, But between that and then there's a whole another theory that goes off about this is how the powers that be at the time, including King Constantinople III and all this good. I saw a video about this actually either last night or earlier this morning. That's why it's so fresh in my memory and such. But it surmises that the entire 300-year period of the Dark Ages were completely fictionalized because there's no archaeological evidence of those times. Everything before and everything after those 300 years, you can go somewhere, dig a hole in the ground, and find not everywhere, but
what does it have to do with the calendar, though?
Well, the calendar is their way to completely just shoehorn in an entire era of history in to validate whatever.
300 years? No.
Yeah. Well, there's no archaeological evidence. There's no cutlery. There's no masonry. There's no ruins. So there's a bunch of stuff that comes out of this. Anyway, let's move on up here. What do we got in 1807?
Aaron Burr acquitted of misdemeanor charge.
Huh. Wonder what he was charged with. Let's just see if the Burr conspiracy. Okay.
Why does his name sound so familiar?
He was one of the presidents, one of the founding fathers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Aaron Burr. The Burr conspiracy was a plot alleged to have been planned by Aaron Burr in the years during and after. This is a different thing. This is obviously not a misdemeanor. They were trying to try him for high treason. But this is something else entirely different. Trying to figure out what the misdemeanor was. Yeah. Aaron Burr acquitted of a misdemeanor. Actually, no, hold on a second. 1800. Control F, right? 1800.
Yeah.
Yeah, King here taught me a little trick. Here we go. That you can search for something. If you hit Control F, it opens up a thing down here, and you can search for it. It'll find it. That's pretty cool. But I didn't find anything. So this is specifically about the Burr conspiracy. But hold on a second. If I go find search for Aaron Burr by himself, there we go. Aaron Burr. Do the Control F. Find it again. Here we go. His secretive activities led to his 1807 arrest in Alabama on charges of treason. Well, that's the same thing. Yeah. That's not a misdemeanor. That's treason.
Yeah,
those are completely on the polar opposites of the legal spectrum. So, hold on a second. Let's see if it brings me up some other 1807. Here we go.
Put in this date exactly.
Okay. September 14, 18.
There you go. On September 14th, at the age of 80, the same day the divorce was officially completed.
That's 1836.
He was, shit.
That's when he died. He
died on September 14th?
Yeah, that's weird. Huh. It's not bringing it up. Oh, well, if anybody can figure this out, let us know in the comment section below. We got to move on up here. What else do we got?
That's weird.
Yeah. Well, there's been actually a couple presidents who died on July 4th. There's 2 or 3 of them, at least. That's really weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
But not while they're in office.
I think one of them was.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway.
1812, Great Fire in Moscow begins as Napoleon approaches the city and retreating Russians burn it. Fire continues to burn for 5 whole days.
Yeah. That's how the Russians always win their wars. They burn their own land, leaving nothing for the invaders to use. So now the invaders not only now have to travel even farther, but stretch their own supply lines and have nothing
Yeah.
waiting for them. You know,
Yeah.
like that's what they did. You know, during Operation Barbarossa and everything. And it's you know, it's just a waiting game. And
It's called Scorched Earth.
yeah, thank you, scorched earth. So, but there's this whole thing, you know, once again going into conspiracies. Look into the mud flood. Like, this might tie into it. What else do we got?
1814, Francis Scott Key pens the poem "Defense of Fort McHenry," last known as the Star Spangled Banner, while witnessing the bombardment of Fort McHenry and from a ship in Baltimore Harbor.
All right, so the creation of the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah.
That's awesome. 1847 here, U.S. Marines under General Scott. I wonder if we knew him, you know. Entered Mexico City, the halls of Montezuma. So, you know, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. The USMC song. So, 1848, Alexander Stewart opened the first U.S. department store, the Marble Palace, in downtown New York City. That's interesting. So, you know, let's take a look at this. What it looked like. I mean, it must have been like, you know, a purpose-built building or something. The Marble Palace. Ooh, wow. That can't be the same store. Like, that can't be. I mean, from the exterior, like, the Marble Palace, New York. Okay, here we go. That's better. Alright, so it'd probably be this one. Yeah, here it is. 280 Broadway. Yeah, that looks like an old-timey department store.
Yeah. Well,
You
they
know?
probably had the first floor, and then
Yeah.
whatever uses was upstairs. Yeah.
Yeah, here's an old newspaper clipping. So yeah, that's it right there. That other one though looked really nice. What else do we got here? 1867, Karl Marx published Das Kapital, Volume 1, his theory of the capitalist system and how it doomed it to destroy itself. Well,
With a little help from his friends.
yeah, you know. Well, I mean, it's not like we needed the help, but you know, things like Amazon and you know, Google, Microsoft, Apple, you know, those are all becoming, you know, monopolies and everything, and like especially with what Jeff Bezos did, supporting the $15 an hour minimum wage, not because he could afford it, which he could, but because he knew his competitors wouldn't be able to. So like, you know, capitalism would inevitably, you know, very very much for the same reasons as communism, it only works as well as the creators. Because, you know, it's our creation, and humans are greedy, they're selfish, you know, our nature, we eat each other, you know? So, we're not perfect. Our creations certainly aren't. So, 1872, what do we got?
1872, Britain pays U.S. $15.5 million for damages during Civil War.
That's really interesting because Britain sided with the Confederates. They are like legitimate, like actual documented, signed allies. Like, you know,
I didn't
we will
realize that.
like directly help you, not just we're neutral, but no,
So you
we
think
are
they supplied them with
directly. Yes, that's why we created a naval blockade around the entirety of the South. It is because they were getting supplies from the UK. They were trying to fund them to destabilize us so they can. That was another attempt of them to take us back over.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah, exactly. They wanted us back so hard that, you know, like they lost us in 84, whenever the actual Civil War ended. They tried again in the War of 1812, which lasted until 1814, and then they were supplying the belligerents. You know, it was a scheme. Crazy.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why history is amazing. So, what else do we have?
Oh yeah, 1886.
1876.
1876, Belgian King Leopold II closes the Brussels Geographic Conference, established the International African Association, forerunner of Leopold's privately controlled Congo Free State.
Yeah. So we spoke about this and looked it up yesterday, right? Like, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about the IAA, International African Association, what would eventually become what is now known today as the DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, like the jungle and marshy rainforest area of Africa. I can look this up again and just read the first sentence or two. Let's see here. International African Association. In full, International Association for the Exploration and Civilization of Central Africa was a front organization established by the guests at the Brussels Geographic Conference of 1876, as we read here, an event hosted by King Leopold II of Belgium. The association was used by King Leopold ostensibly to further his supposedly altruistic and humanitarian projects in the area of Central Africa, the area that was to become Leopold's privately controlled Congo Free State. King Leopold volunteered space in Brussels for the International African Association's headquarters, and there were to be national communities of the association set up in all participating countries, as well as an international committee. So it's kind of like, a UN for Africa or something like that, like some kind of something or other. There's always been European interest in Africa and whatnot.
Sure.
Also, he was probably trying to colonize, and it said bring civilization to them, So, moving on up here to 1886, George K. Anderson of Memphis, Tennessee, patented typewriter ribbon.
Aha!
Yeah, so that's
Nice.
that's is that the paper you write on, or what?
No. It's the tape that goes through the typewriter. The key strikes it onto your paper and prints it.
Okay, yeah. I thought that was. I was trying to make it in my head. I knew it wasn't the paper. I was just trying to figure out because there was some other this,
Yeah.
1891, Empire State Express train went from New York City to East Buffalo, a distance of 436 miles, in a record 7 hours 6 minutes. That's pretty good. That's moving.
It's 50 miles an hour.
Yeah. In 1891.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's breakneck. 1899, Henry Bliss became the first recorded U.S. death from an auto accident when he was hit by a taxi cab in New York City. Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And what do we got here in the turn of the century?
1900, there are now 62,000 foreign troops in Peking and nearby cities, still defeating Boxer rebels.
Yeah, the Boxer Rebellion.
The Boxer Rebellion.
Yeah. Called for such as, it was actually, it was people who were, in the manufacturing facilities. They were the boxers. They put things in boxes. And then they had a rebellion, a workers' strike type thing. They have rights too. They're humans. So, a lot of people forget that. We got some Teddy Roosevelt here.
1901, Theodore Roosevelt was sworn in as the youngest man to serve as U.S. president after William McKinley finally dies after an anarchist shoots him in Buffalo.
Yikes.
And the teddy bear is named after him.
Yeah. Yeah. Such an interesting thing,
Yeah.
I believe, it's the analogy of, hey, he's kind and gentle, but don't get on his bad side. Like a bear,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he's.
Wasn't it propaganda to make him seem more lovable?
Yeah. He was a rough rider, man.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
1905, Albert Koijstraat Street Market in Amsterdam inaugurated.
All right. Let's see if that's still a thing. Albert's, yeah, it's still there. So if anybody's in Amsterdam or visiting Amsterdam, know that this street has been a market street for almost 120 years. 119 years. Yeah. Wow. Uno Mas, 1905.
1905, RAC Tourist Trophy first run on Isle of Man.
RAC Tourist Trophy. What is that? Oh, Royal Automobile Club. So
RAC.
It's car racing. Wow, 1905. I'm going to look up this entire article and see what we get for images. I'd like to see what vehicles they were racing in 1905.
There you go.
Wow, look at that. Look at that boxy thing. That's even before, when they had the drum things.
1905, sure.
Wow. That's awesome. 1911, Russian Prime Minister Peter Stolypin was assassinated in Kiev. His regime had been characterized by harsh measures to control dissidents. That's not good. No. 3 years later, Lord Kitchener, quote, "Your country needs you," end quote, "Your country needs you," appeared as front cover design for the London Opinion magazine. And actually, like, I have, speaking of "Your country needs you," let me open up this really quick, because there's actually a scene. History bombs, World War One. So,
It's time.
let's see if I can find it here really quick. Oh, there you are.
Still more troops were needed.
Men of Britain, there's much to do. Your time is now. Your country needs you.
Sir, we've just had.
Yep. And that was a predecessor to the old Uncle Sam thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I can see, see exactly where it comes from.
the Brits used it, and Uncle Sam was born later on, like within months or like a year or so, because it wasn't that far off. He was used near the end of World War One, you know, and doing the same pose, you know, and same stuff.
So it goes back that far to one, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. And it started with the Brits.
I thought it was World War II.
Well, it was very heavily used in World War II, of course, as well as, you know, Rosie the Riveter, you know, and various other propaganda posters and such like that.
Absolutely,
Yeah. 1918, during World War I, Austria-Hungary sent a note to the Allies requesting peace discussions, but the Allies rejected the offer. Here we go. Like, you know, we've always been a war-thirsty, you know, like civilization. Like, you know, not the U.S., but just Western society as a whole.
Species, or are you talking
well,
about
the species,
us?
yes, definitely, yes. But I mean, like, you know, right here, they're requesting peace discussions. We're just like, no. It's like, well, like, you know, what's the point of saying no? Seriously, you want more bloodshed? What's wrong with you? You know, like, and you know, like we've done it back then. We've done it recently. You know, like, what is wrong with us? You know, as the Western world, why?
Talking's always good.
Yeah, you know. 1919, British regime forbade Sinn Féin Dáil. And that sounds like something leading up to the Troubles. Sinn Féin, you know, wasn't that one of the like Irish things?
I don't know.
It says here, Sinn Féin is an Irish Republican and Democratic Socialist political party in both the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. But that's Sinn Féin. This is talking about Sinn Féin Dáil. So is that the same thing?
I have no idea. Dio is, I don't know what
Dial members. Okay, here's something else here. Decline cookies. I don't want your cookies. I'm on a diet. Dial members. So these are members. So I don't know. Like, I would say obviously these are connected. I mean, the British have been trying to have a vice grip on Ireland. You know, like they just can't help but colonize. You know, and oppress other people. That's just in their nature. You know. This is them, like, you know, forbidding them. Like, anyway, 1922, the catastrophe of Smyrna, known as the Asia Minor catastrophe to Greeks. The Ottoman army expelled Greeks and other non-Turks from Asia Minor, August 13th, old style. So,
Asia Minor is the only thing I get out of that with familiarity. So I really don't know what that's about.
The Ottoman army expels Greeks. You know what? Let me just look up this thing here. The catastrophe of Smyrna. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying that word. Maybe I'm having a stroke. Burning of Smyrna. Okay. Okay, map. Let's see if I can find where this was located. Okay, so this is.
Oh, there we go. I see what you're saying.
Okay, so yeah, this is the Mediterranean Sea. What is this here? Oh wow. Okay, that's not giving me anything. Smyrna and the Aegean. Okay, here's Smyrna. Okay, so maybe that, because that's that would be, you know, the Asia and European, like, touching here.
Yeah, connection.
So this would be Asian Minor, because this is Smyrna here. So the Turks removed the Greeks from here and put them over here or something. So they sent the Greeks back to Greece. You know,
Okay.
essentially from where the Ottomans were to where the Greeks were.
Yeah.
There's always been problems there.
Yeah.
You know? So, hey, King's back.
What else you got?
1923, in his fourth heavyweight boxing title defense, Jack Dempsey recovered after being sent through the ropes to knock out Argentine challenger Luis Firpo in the second round at the Polo Grounds in New York City. All right.
Went through the ropes.
Yeah.
That's never a good thing.
No. 1923 as well, the Red Sox first baseman George Burns pulled off an unassisted triple play. That sounds astonishing.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. Now, if King wishes, he can take 1930 here.
Detroit Lions as Portsmouth Spartans play first NFL game, win 13-6.
All right. Cool for the Lions
Nice.
or for the Spartans at the time. So, here we go.
1930, Nazis gain 107 seats in German election.
Not good.
1933, 2 billion board fleet of lumber destroyed in Tillamook, Oregon fire.
Yeah, I put the actual number in just to showcase how much. 2 billion board feet of lumber. Like, wow. Like, now I wonder, like, if they're just using that as an example or something, or if an actual lumber yard got eaten up. Like, Tillamook, Oregon fire. Let's see here.
I think they're talking about the trees that were lost made that 2 billion board feet.
Yeah, maybe it was set to be used as, lumber.
Of course.
Like,
It's all
yeah.
lumber, whether it's used or not. I mean, if you look at it...
Well, no, but I mean, like, you can't chop down, trees in a national forest.
Right.
Is what I'm saying. So, like,
No,
would this
I'm
have been
talking
a
about
tree farm? Like,
whether it's usable or not,
yeah.
they're talking about valuable wood, and they're talking about it in board feet.
Well, I understand
So
that.
that was lost in trees that were lost.
But I'm also wondering, like, if it was, like, if an entire lumber yard, was in,
No.
the fire as well.
No, I'm thinking
Like-
they're talking about what was lost to humanity in terms of board feet.
Ah. Okay. Anyway, what else do we have here?
And
Ooh.
1936, first prefrontal lobotomy in America performed by Walter Freeman and James W. Watts at George Washington University Hospital in Washington, D.C.
Yikes. Absolutely barbaric lobotomies and everything. I mean,
Yeah.
like, thanks to, movies like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
Oh,
Nest
yeah.
and everything, yeah, there were horrible things happening at these asylums and everything, but we went too far. We gotta keep some people, like, in these facilities. Like, we don't want electroshock therapy, we don't want lobotomies, we don't want but we've gone too far and we've allowed crazies too much freedom, because look at the world around you. Like, they vote. So, something needs to be done. 1936 as well, Pittsburgh Pirates future Baseball Hall of Fame outfielder Paul Wainer tied Roger Hornby's National League record of 200 MLB hits for 7th time. Wow. So not only did he tie it, but he's tied it for the 7th time. Septuplet, I guess.
Septuplet?
Like a
What
septuplet is 7 babies. Septuplet, 7 ties. I'm trying to bring in the word with the event. I don't know. Like,
Good try.
yeah. 1937, President Franklin D. Roosevelt banned U.S. ships from trading arms with China or Japan. All right. Sucks for China, but I mean, at the same time, if we didn't, Japan would have found some way to utilize China somehow to trade with us. I don't know. Like, how these.
Yeah.
I mean-
Would that be because they were... Why China and Japan?
Well,
They
because
were
Japan
enemies.
was on China's land.
Yeah. But they
So-
didn't control China, did they?
No, but they can just utilize China's ships and trade with the U.S. using China as a proxy.
So they were tying... We were actually banning Japan and tying China in with it.
Yeah, just,
Okay.
not saying China's guilty, but they could be
Yeah.
used as
Yeah,
a way
okay.
to trade with us.
makes
Because
sense.
despite like obvious sanctions and everything with North Korea, they're still getting Hennessy from us. You know,
Yeah.
because Hennessy is one of the biggest imports of North Korea, right from U.S. shores. Because Kim Jong Un loves the drink.
Mm.
So, yeah,
Didn't know that.
yeah. Was it Hennessy or Patron? Remember? I think it was Hennessy.
Oh,
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, despite sanctions, Russia still gets stuff, China still gets, so they find loopholes. So if
Oh,
we
always,
just
yeah.
if we just stop trading with the countries that they're using for their loopholes, then the loopholes are closed. And so, you know, that's how I view this. So
Okay.
this was not a slight against China. This was
Right.
just to prevent, you know, Japan from doing
Yeah.
something. What do we got here in 1938?
Graf Zeppelin 2, world's largest airship, makes its maiden flight.
Cool.
Ew.
I don't like how they use the. I know I've seen them use other airship pictures. Why do they keep using the damn Hindenburg?
Yeah.
Like, the
Yeah.
Graf Zeppelin didn't explode.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this is part of the propaganda to keep the idea of not using airships. But if we actually used, like, what was it? Not nitrogen, not helium. Like, there's another lighter than air gas that's not really that flammable, that would make airships actually a viable thing, but they don't make as much money off of them, so you know they try to keep that technology down, and that's why they, you know, this is all propaganda. What do we got here in 1939?
World's first practical helicopter, the VS-300, designed by Igor Sikorsky, takes tethered flight in Stratford, Connecticut.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
wonder if there's a video of this. There should be. You know, they have videos of things far earlier than that. So let's see here. Oh, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the first practical helicopter. So yeah, you have your sticks, your foot pedals. Wow. Even back then, like, you know, they had the four blades. There's the tail rotor. Look at that thing. 1939. Right? 1939? Yeah. I mean, that is a marvel of engineering.
You look at the guy working that thing. It
Yeah.
takes some skill to keep that thing up there
Oh yeah.
and level and everything else.
Oh yeah. Oh wait. They have two horizontal tail rotors. No, wait, we saw a vertical one. Wasn't that vertical? That's. What was that? Is that a tail rotor or? Because that's vertical right there.
Yeah.
But then we get over. Okay, that's horizontal.
Yeah. I don't know.
Were they filming it at? I don't see a vertical rotor at all. He has one main one, and he has two for stabilizing, two horizontal in the back for stabilization. So, but what's this?
I don't know. Doesn't look like the same. That looks far more sophisticated. I was thinking of that, of the earlier picture too. Looked far more sophisticated than anything that was on. Go back from the start.
Yeah. Like. Okay, so like you can even see that right here.
Yeah.
You can see in the background that the kind of the superstructure for the horizontal.
Yeah.
Booms. So, but maybe
But that looks far
maybe they
more
just.
sophisticated right there than.
But that looks like a vertical blade. Maybe they were like at an angle and it looks weird. You know, that's
Well, maybe they were looking up at it.
yeah.
Maybe they're on the ground looking up at it.
Yeah. Anyway, we got to move on. What else do we got here? 1940.
Congress patches peacetime constriction bill. Draft law.
So you draft.
Mm.
Yeah. We missed one right above it.
German bomb hits shelter in Chelsea. Hundreds die.
Yikes.
Hey.
Yeah, the shelter didn't work. That's unfortunate. But well, you know, the silver lining of black cloud, learn to build a thicker roof. You know?
Yeah.
Like, 1942, this is a good one here. You want to take it?
1942, U.S. Naval Admiral Chester Nimitz presented the first Medal of Honor of World War II for courage and valor beyond the call of duty during the attack on Pearl Harbor. The sailor John William Finn's ceremony took place in Pearl Harbor aboard USS Enterprise.
Awesome. And we have some comments here from Predictable the Unpredictable. Sup to all, you should check out the movie Sucker Punch. It's based on a mental institution near me in Vermont. Oh, well, let's add that into the movie night right now. Sucker Punch. Where are you? There you are. Sucker Punch. All right, and then he also said Hennessy, yucky. Yeah. Well, yeah, we're talking.
Yeah, I won't argue that one.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I've had Hennessy. I think I've had Patron, but yeah. 1942 as well. Okay, I'm going to rattle off a couple things. So we have 1942, the Yanks clinched the pennant, number 13. We're going to be talking about the Yanks quite a bit, actually, from now on. 1943, Yanks clinched pennant number 14.
Oh, geez.
All right, 1944, 6,500 Dutch/Indonesian captives were sent to Junio Mairu. What is that? Junio Mairu, that doesn't sound good. It was a cargo steamship that was built in Scotland in 1913. Okay. Well, actually, hold on a second. Control F, 1944. It was built in Scotland, served as a succession of British owners until 1927, and then was sunk in Japanese ownership under a Royal Navy submarine in 1944. Oh, so the Japanese took it, and it must have been, from Hong Kong or something, Remember the movie Under the Red Sun or something about that kid who got separated from his parents?
Oh yeah.
Japanese invasion and all that stuff. So maybe the Japanese took hold of this British ship, and then they were using that to transport prisoners and all that stuff, and then it got sunk by a Royal Navy submarine.
Yeah.
So, wow. So all right. 1944, Great Atlantic Hurricane hit New England. Between 300 to 400 died along the U.S. East Coast. Yikes. So, and then also that same year, same day, Gulpen, Messerin, and Maastricht were freed. Who or what was that? Chronologically, of the liberation of Dutch cities and so they were towns. They were cities and towns.
Oh.
Liberated during the Second World War.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought
Okay.
they're getting out of jail or something.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, but that makes sense. 44. 1948, groundbreaking ceremony for initial buildings of United Nations headquarters is held in New York City. We've been there. We've been in those buildings. Actually, that's really funny. Back in 2004, we were up in New York and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We visited the United Nations headquarters, and there is a thing there for Habbo Hotel. If anybody knows what that was, and the memes and the culture that came out of that over the years was truly astonishing. From Afroduct to pools closed. You have no idea what that is. Internet culture.
No, I
Early
don't.
internet culture.
I heard words, but they meant nothing to me.
I might as well have read Cricket.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there's a Cricket article here I put in just
No,
for you.
No, I'm
it's,
leaving
It's
now.
coming up.
I'm done.
No,
I'm out of here.
No. 1949, India's Constituent Assembly adopted Hindi as an official language. Celebrated today as Hindi Day. All right. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
1950, Good Sir King.
Western Allies rearm West Germany.
All right. Yeah, in case
Yeah,
they get invaded or
1950.
something, they need self-defense. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
1951, Giants Bob Neiman's homer on his first two at-bats.
Jeez, first two at bats.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's ironic because the term "come out swinging" is the exact words you want to use, but even then, it doesn't feel like it's giving that the respect it deserves. That is amazing. So, ooh, here we go.
1953, Nikita Gorbachev appointed first secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, succeeding Malenkov.
Nikita Khrushchev.
Yeah.
He was, what's his name there, was the leader for a very short time before Khrushchev took over.
Georgie here? Yeah. Georgie actually
I think it was months or something, if I'm not mistaken. Can you look
Yeah.
that up?
Yeah, no, you're right, because Stalin died in 1952.
Okay.
And I know after, seeing the movie Death of Stalin, because it shows this whole cabinet, it showed Nikita Khrushchev, who was played by Steve Buscemi, and all that stuff. Georgie here was a right-hand man to Joseph Stalin, and he took power after Stalin's death, and then Khrushchev would come to power after Georgie's death. Here.
Yeah.
As it
right,
says
that
here.
says.
So
I just wondering, it had to be short.
well, let's see here.
It seemed to me it was less than 6 months. I may be mistaken in that.
Malenkov becomes chairman of the USSR. Soviet leader Georgy Malenkov reports possession of hydrogen bomb. So 1953, March the 6th, it looks like. Yeah, so March the 6th.
So maybe
1953. Well, no, Malenkov here, Georgy Malenkov. There's only 2 things he did. Actually, no. Wait. No. Hold on. Nikita Khrushchev was appointed first secretary of the Communist Party, and then later Georgy Malenkov becomes the premier of the USSR. And Georgy Malenkov resigns as U.S. and replaced by Nikolai Bulgain in 1954. So from 4/21/1954 to 2/8 1955. So he served for about 10 months.
Okay.
Roughly.
Yeah.
So that is rather short. And I love that scene in Reagan where the leaders just kept dying. Like, I don't know how to work with these people if their leaders keep dying on me. Like, what a great line. We got another 53 here.
The Yanks clinched this straight pennant with 8-5 win over Indians.
Here we go again. The Yanks, their fifth pennant, third one we've spoken about, on the same day, different years. That's wild.
Yankees did dominate.
Yeah. Yep.
Benjamin Britten's opera Turn of the Screw premieres in Venice, Italy.
Sounds interesting. Sounds like a working class opera. Turn of the screw, whack of the hammer. We clock in. I don't know. 1954. Oh, go ahead.
1954. Hurricane Edna, second of 1954, hits New York City with $50 million in damage.
50 million, in 1954. Let's see if that's even 50,000 million. 1954, not 45. Inflation calculator. That would be the equivalent of $58,512,267.66 today. Holy cats, Batman. Wow. So, wait, that's 5 million. So what's 50
I'd say
million?
that's
Oh, wait,
really
I
low.
misplaced a number. I put in 5 million, not 50 million.
Well, I gave you kind of a ratio, but I would have thought it would have been way more than that.
Hold on, calculate. There we go. No, this is not even, no, this can't even give me 50 million. Okay, here we go. What is 50 million in 1954 worth? Here's something else. Oh, that's better. 570 million, $159,851.30. There we go. All right. So over $500 million in damage. That sounds about right. If something like that happened today.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
50 to 500 billion.
Yeah. 1954 as well. New York Giants Willie Mays got 82nd extra base hit, broke Mel Ott's record.
Oh, Mel Ott.
Mel
yeah.
Ott.
Remember him?
He's so old that they don't even have a photograph of him. They just have a a cartoon, drawing.
He disrespected Mel Ott. I don't know.
I don't know if they do. They even is there even a photograph of Mel Ott? Let's see here. Mel Ott. Oh, here we go. I think they have plenty of photos options. Come on. Why'd they choose this stupid artist renditioning with his ears flapping in the wind? Come on, dude. 1955, Little Richard recruited Tutti Frutti
Oh,
en
yeah.
route at JM Studio in New Orleans, Louisiana, kicking off the tune with the immortal phrase "Wop bop a loo bop ba da ba boom."
Tutti Frutti.
En route, Tutti Frutti en route. 1956, Good Sir King.
Ooh.
IBM introduces the REMAC 305, first commercial computer with hard drive that uses magnetic disk storage, weighs over a ton.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. Can you imagine, like, that entire room? Now you can have the equivalent of an entire building of a room in a thumb drive.
Yeah.
Like, they have terabyte thumb drives, and they have 10 terabyte thumb drives now. Like, I remember in 2005, like, when I first got into college, I got an external hard drive. Oh, it was a new big bad thing. It was a 1 terabyte hard drive. It cost $80, you know, which that was a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I was a monster. Now it's just like, oh, hey, here's 10 terabytes.
Yeah.
You know, wow. You know, 20 years later, not even. Like, wild.
So I'm trying to think of what UNIVAC was. I think that was one of the big competitors to IBM. UNIVAC.
It sounds familiar. Oh, that sounds so like they use vacuum tubes and all that stuff, right?
Well, it could have been their origins. You know, I'm not sure.
UNIVAC. Let's see here. UNIVAC, the BINAC, built by the Eckert Machine Computer Corporation. Yeah, it was a line of digital electronic stored program computers, starting with the products of the Eckert Machine Computer Program. Later, the name was applied to a division of the Remington brand, or Remington Rand Company, and successor organizations. So, yeah, I've seen that logo, UNIVAC. That's old. 1957. What do we have?
57. 1957, on resolution deplores and condemns USSR invasion of Hungary.
Ah,
Hmm.
yeah, that would happen.
I remember that.
Hmm.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah, you were around by now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 1958.
Rockets.
Oh, go ahead.
1958, two rockets designed by the German engineer Ernst Mohr, the first German post-war rockets, reached the upper atmosphere.
All
Thanks.
right. Operation
Thanks.
Paperclip doing its job. Oh. 1958 as well. Yankees won their 24th pennant and 9th under Casey Stengel. All right.
Casey Stengel, yeah.
Yeah. So here we go again. 1959, Soviet Union's Luna 2 became the first spacecraft to land on the moon.
Hmm.
Yep. Oh. And once again, like, you know, I want to reiterate, and I don't want to go on a whole thing because, you know, we've spoken about it since we learned about it a couple times on the show here. But there's this whole conspiracy that the U.S. withheld satellites and kept us on the ground to allow Russia to get there first, to create a national scare, to gain support, to authorize spending and all that stuff. And instead of causing a scare, it caused a sensation. It went viral, so to speak. You know. So, but yeah, look into that, audience. You know, after this show, of course. But it is a really interesting tidbit of information to look into. We've been lied to. So.
Oh, what was their 9/11? Brr.
Oh, that's a whole other bag of hammers. 1960, Dmitry Shostakovich became a member of the Communist Party of the USSR. Really interesting, you know, that he did so after the death of Stalin. Because, you know, Shostakovich here was a one man Stalin could not kill. Because
you talked about that before.
he was a musician of the people. He was a composer and all that stuff. Yeah. And one of his works, something that he made specifically for the event, it was played on loudspeakers at Stalingrad. And there were civilians there because the military was ordered not to evacuate, not to allow anybody to leave. So that way they have an even more pressing urgency to defend the city. The civilians were used as cannon fodder to keep the soldiers fighting. You know, that's how ruthless the Soviet Union is. And while that was happening, Shostakovich here, his works were being played. He was the music of the people. And if Stalin laid a finger on his head, his entire nation would go against Stalin. You cannot fight against the people. even if you're Stalin.
Yeah.
And he knew it. And the power the people hold is astonishing. And when we find that out, things will change for the better. 1960 as well, Iraq, Iran, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Venezuela. That's Venezuela. That's a weird thing to add to that. Formed the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, wasn't it discovered that Pakistan recently, they discovered that they might be on top of the world's fourth largest reserve?
Oh, I haven't heard that.
This is a recent thing. Like, I heard about it about like 48 hours of that ago. This is like the past 2 days'
That'd
news.
be unusual because there's not that much oil in that region,
Well,
if any.
Well, I'm seeing it make the rounds.
Yeah. Well,
So,
could be. I mean, I don't know.
If that's true, then they're certainly gonna be in store for some freedom, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're coming. 1960. What else do we got here?
Yeah, we're gonna put McDonald's everywhere.
Yeah, I
because
know, right?
no one's buying McDonald's down here anymore. So
Huh. Yeah.
what are we on? 59.
1960. Joseph.
Joseph Desire Mobutu launches a bloodless coup in the Congo, declaring President Joseph Kasavubu and Patrice Lumumba to be neutralized and establishing a new government of university graduates.
Oh, wonderful. A bunch of
What?
college kids in charge of a nation. Yeah, that's going to go well.
No. Wow.
Yeah. What is that? Are those Pockies?
Yes.
Ah, okay. I've never had them. Are they any good? I hear they're good.
Fucking amazing.
I'm going to have to
They're
try them
addictive.
one day. 1963. Mary Ann Fisher of Aberdeen, South Dakota, gave birth to the U.S.'s first surviving quintuplets, 4 girls and a boy, so 5. For
Yep.
quintuplets. Quints? Wouldn't that be pentuplets?
No, Penn is.
Penta is 5.
No, Quinn is 5. Penn is, I thought, 10.
No, like the pentagon, 5 sides. Hexagon, 6 sides. Octagon, 8 sides.
Pentagon is no more than 5 sides.
The Pentagon in the Capitol
Yeah.
has 5 sides.
Look it up.
I thought Quint was 5.
Like right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Pentagon, 5. I've never heard of quintuplets. I've heard of pentuplets. I've heard of sextuplets.
I've heard of
of
quintuplets.
I've heard of heptuplets.
I've heard of
Quintuplets.
quintuplets.
Yeah, quintuplets for
Huh.
sure.
That's weird though. Like why not pen? Because pen is 5. Pentagon, pentagram.
We have to look up
You
Quinn.
know?
What is Quinn? It might be.
I don't know. Look up the origin of Quint.
What is quint? Quints. Quints. A sequence of 5 cards of the same suit. A run of ace, king, queen, jack, and 10 is a quint major, and one of jack, 10, 9, 8, and 7 is a quint minor. Short for quintuplet.
Okay.
But that's weird. We have pentagon, pentagram. We have hexagon. We have like.
But those are sides, so this is not referring to a side of it.
But there's sides based off of a number.
yes, of course.
Like how a stop sign is an octagon.
But these are people, not sides.
Huh. Okay. Anyway, what else do we got here? 1964?
Walt Disney awarded Presidential Medal of Freedom at the White House by President Lyndon Johnson.
Ah. We have another comment here by Predictable. I remember there was one of those. There was one off the coast of both Korea and the Gaza Plateau. What were we talking about? That's off the coast of Korea and the Gaza Plateau. Like maybe you're talking about a prison ship?
Oil?
Oil? I don't know. Predictable, if you're still watching, if you don't mind, can you let us know what you're replying to? Sorry for not seeing your comment earlier. What else do we got here? 1965, Western sitcom F Troop premiered in the U.S. on ABC. Not sure if you ever saw it.
F Troop?
F Troop, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. 67, Thomas Pell Wildlife Refuge and Sanctuary opened in the Bronx, New York City. Yeah, that's an interesting place to have a wildlife refuge in the Bronx.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining, like, pigeons out in the concrete yard benching some, like, tiny little barbells. like, a rat out there, like, mugging somebody by a golf course, a basketball court, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's in the Bronx, man. What's a game staff? I'm a New Yorker. 1968, Jimmy Ellis defeated Floyd Patterson in 15 for heavyweight to boxing title. Ah, the good old boxing cowboy here. It was 1968, good Sir King, if you wish.
Jimmy Ellis beats Floyd Patterson in 15 for heavyweight boxing title.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Floyd Patterson was a very
1968, the USSR's Zond 5 is launched on first communicator flight.
Circumlunar, I think. I wonder if that's like, same as like circumnavigation, circumglobal, circumlunar.
Sounds like that.
Circumlunar
Around the moon.
trajectory. Let's see here. In orbital mechanics, a circumnuclear, circumlunar trajectory, translunar trajectory, or lunar free return is a type of free return trajectory which takes a spacecraft from Earth around the far side of the moon and back to Earth using only gravity once the initial trajectory is set. So basically,
Slingshots it back.
yeah, how Apollo 13 got back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool. What else do we have here?
1968, while on tour in England, a fire at singer Roy Orbison's Henderson's Tennessee home kills the two eldest of his three sons.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
That's awful.
Yeah.
I have to take my hat off out of respect. You know,
Yeah.
that's, I don't even want to bring up anything personal, but, I can understand how that guy feels to a certain extent, so.
Didn't he die in the plane crash?
Yeah.
Roy Orbison.
With
no, died of
cricket guy?
massive heart attack.
Oh, okay.
December 6, 1988, at the age of 52.
Totally different. No.
So you're thinking about the Big Bopper plane?
That's
thing?
who I was thinking of.
Okay. Pretty Woman, Only the Lonely, Traveling Wild Berries, Handle with Care. Oh, that's a Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. That one?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. All right. That sucks, though. I mean,
Yeah.
whew, I can't even imagine. This next one is pretty bad. Not as bad as this last one, but it's still not good. What else do we have here in 69?
Male voters of Swiss canton Schaffhausen reject female suffrage. Ooh.
Yeah. 1970 here, Economic Council for Northern Ireland held its first meeting. Okay. 1 year later, Cleveland Indians and Washington Senators played 20 innings. Wow. Just one away from 7 innings, or 9 innings, 7th inning stretches, 7, 14, 21,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, just 1 inning away. 1972, The Waltons, a TV program, premiered on CBS starring Richard Thomas, Ralph Waite, Michelle Leonard, and Will Geer. You remember The Waltons? Like,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I put these in here, for you, because I'm not sure, if you remember them.
Yeah.
You would have like a little story or something. Like,
No, I wasn't a fan of the show.
I'm trying to dig for history. I am an audio archaeologist. I am digging in my own way.
Gotcha.
1972, West Germany and Poland established diplomatic relations. All right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I brought this up, but do you know that Poland shares 2 borders with Russia?
I didn't know that.
So, I brought this up yesterday, Poland. So let me just bring up Poland here, and bring it up on maps. So You know, we have Poland here, and actually, let me go back to normal map view so we can see the borders better. So we have Poland here. Oh wait, no, not Poland. Belarus shares too. So Poland is over here, but Poland still shares a border with Russia. Russia's over here. You know, the border's here. All right. However, this area here is sovereign Russian territory as well. So, you know, so not two borders. That was my mistake. I confused Poland with Belarus. But Poland shares a border with Russia right there.
Gotcha.
And Russia is, you know, they want the Baltic states.
So what is that sovereign territory actually called?
It's still Russia. Like,
It is called Russia?
it's, well, I don't know what. Kaliningrad is the main city, but like as you can see here, it doesn't have a name like everybody else around here.
Yeah.
So it's, but that is Russian territory.
Huh.
So yeah, and you can see it's all in Russia. Kaliningrad, that's very Russian. So, and that's that's a major danger. You know.
Oh yeah.
Like, so. Anyway, what else do we got here? 1973, Indianapolis was awarded a WHA franchise. What? I'm just gonna look up the entire article here. Get rid of that. Might need to restart my music. Yes, I do. Ba-doop. All right, get rid of maps. Indianapolis Racers. Okay. So WHA, franchise laid to WHA. But what is? Oh, World Hockey Association. Okay, so it's hockey.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Or?
Yeah, I figured it out. I'm not
Okay.
aware of it. I don't remember it so well.
Okay.
But obviously it's defunct now.
Okay. Oh, it is? Oops. League, World Hockey Association, 1974 through 1978. Okay, yeah, it is defunct. Okay. So, yeah. 1973 as well, Israel shot down 13 Syrian MiG-21s. All right. They had a war with Syria, it sounds like. U.S. President Richard Nixon signed into law a measure lifting pro football's lockout. Well, wonder what was going on with that. Like, do you remember lockouts?
Yes, I do. And I don't quite. The owners locked him out for whatever reason. I can't remember what.
NFL rejected President Nixon's blackout proposal.
He was trying to negotiate it to get him back together.
Ah, okay. Like were they disbanding? Like the
No, they locked him out of playing. They said no,
Oh.
they didn't have a contract, a union contract for the employees or whatever, which are the football players. So they locked the football players out, so they couldn't play.
And Predictable said he was talking about oil fields. So there's an oil field off the coast of Korea and Gaza Plateau, apparently. So,
Okay.
yeah, we were talking about what I brought up involving Pakistan? Pakistan.
Yes,
Yeah.
Pakistan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Palestine, Pakistan.
Yeah.
Well, a different P country. So,
way different.
yeah. 1974, Charles Cowell discovered Leda, the 13th satellite of Jupiter. So, 13th moon. And now it's gone on to have, 70 some odd moons. Like, moon has so many moons. Jupiter, how many moons does Jupiter have? Moons are 95. Oh my
Wow.
God. As of February 5th, 2024. So they're still finding them. Oh my goodness.
You found one this year.
That was recent. 1975, Milwaukee Brewer Robin Yount broke Mel Ott's record, playing 242 MLB games as a teen. All right. Let me have you back on camera there. Damn it. Hold on a second. I want that one. There we go. 1975 as well, Mother Elizabeth Ann Bailey Sexton canonized as first U.S.-born saint by Pope Paul VI. All right, so, our first native saint.
Yeah.
Oh, we got one. Woo! We also have Rembrandt's oil painting The Night Watch was slashed and damaged by an unemployed school teacher in the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam.
Jeez.
Yikes, I hate that crap.
Yeah.
And all these climate activists going in and throwing tomato sauce on paintings. What do you think you're doing? I mean, I can understand and empathize to a certain degree your arguments, but once you start defacing paintings, what are you doing? You're trying to raise
especially when
awareness.
You're defacing history,
You're trying to raise awareness. All you're doing is raising an army against you. All you're doing is invalidating your own argument and damaging your own wants. Stop it. But yeah, thankfully they were able to delay watch before after. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. So this is when it was slashed. You can see it was damaged and everything, and they were able to restore it, thankfully. So that's good. Oh wait, there's an image right there of, or maybe that's when they're repairing it. I don't know. Here's another before and after or something. He colorized it. I don't know. But yeah, no, like repairing technology on paintings is truly remarkable what they can do.
Yeah, it is.
Unfortunately, they can never undo. You remember what that dumb idiot lady did to that picture of Jesus? Horrible painting of Jesus. Hold on a second. Let's see. Here. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this is it. So this on the left is the original, and then this lady came in to fix it and everything.
Yeah.
And the one on the right is her final product.
Oh, jeez.
Look at that.
Of the original painting?
On it.
Oh, man.
On it. No, that's what it looks like now. Like she didn't copy it on another canvas.
Yeah.
She painted over it.
No, I got it.
Like-
That's what I'm saying.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Just atrocious.
Yeah.
So, 1977, Christmas Tinto sentenced to 7 years in Ribbon Island, South Africa. What? Like, who is this guy? Okay. South African history online. Okay, let's.
Tutu, I think it is.
Tinto, Tinto.
Oh, okay.
Tutu was some other guy
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
We spoke about him yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Some guy named Tutu was
In
leading.
Africa, yeah.
Yeah, no, he led the greatest anti-apartheid march. That was
Okay.
yesterday. We reported on that. That's right. His involvement in political activities started at an early age in 1942. So this was some political something or other. Probably just what they're trying to do to a certain orange man out here. Just getting rid of every political opponent, political dissident. So yeah. 1978, MLB Atlanta Braves Jim Bouton, at the age of 38, defeated San Francisco Giants, his first win since 1970. So 8 years dry. Hey, 78 as well, the Provisional Irish Republican Army exploded over 50 bombs in towns across Northern Ireland over the next 5 days, injuring 37 people. Thank goodness there were no fatalities, but still, that is intense. 50 bombs in 5 days, that is some crazy Tet Offensive Al-Qaeda types, situations happening right there. Just, hey, all of that can stop if Britain just lets Ireland be free. It's that simple. Why not? 1979, the film Quadrophenia, right there, Quadro 4, loosely based on the Who's 1973 rock opera of the same name, was released. All right. Theodore Combs completed 5,193-mile roller skate from LA to New York City and back to Yates Center, Kansas. So he went all the way and then he went halfway back. It was probably just like, you know what, I'm done. Like,
Yeah.
he proved his point. 1 year later, 1980, Dwight Clark began NFL streak of 105 consecutive game receptions. All right. Entertainment Tonight premiered on TV, in 1981. And also, Judge Wapner and People's Court premiered on TV. 36 inches, not feet, wow, of snow in Red Lodge, Montana, I think, 1982. MT is Montana? So,
Yeah.
yeah. So 36 inches. So that's 1224. That's 3 feet
Yep.
of snow. So, 1982 as well, a bomb at Lebanese Phalange Party HQ killed the president-elect Bakhtiar Gemayel and 26 others. Yikes. Wow. Holy, imagine if something like that happened today. Like anywhere. Like that would be world news. 1982, Sydney Nicholas of Canada made her 19th swim of the English Channel. Like, okay, we get it.
19th?
Yeah, you can do it great, like...
Why would you do it 19 times?
I don't know. Like, I hope she did a 20th and just ended it there. Like, just do it one more time, round up, and then you've proven your point. Go and retire knowing that you're the best swimmer in all of time. Good on you,
Going for a swim had a whole different meaning to her.
Oh, yeah. 1983, Texan San Jacinto County Sheriff James Humpy Parker convicted of violating inmates' civil rights and of torture. I wonder where he got a nickname from. You know, like, was he giving them the meat sandwich, so to speak? If you ever watched Henry and Kumar escape from Guantanamo Bay, you know, so 1983 as well. Wow, this was a busy year. U.S. House of Representatives voted 416 to none in favor of a resolution condemning Russia for shooting down a Korean jetliner. And so this is the event that was in the Reagan movie, right? Like, they shot down the Korean jetliner.
Yeah, yes.
You know, so that must have been in September. That must have been one of the events that we missed during the heat wave. You know, we had. You know, so
Yeah.
1985. I had no idea this went back that long. The Golden Girls, starring B. Arthur, Betty White, Rue McClanahan, and Estelle Gray. Rest in peace to Betty White. And B. Arthur, right? B. Arthur is dead too, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, she died in 2009 of lung cancer at the age of 86. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a snippy one. I liked her. Debuted on NBC 1986. Bo Jackson's first hour. Oh, wait, no, that's something else. No, that is first. Oh wait, no, that's something else. Okay. Debuted on NBC, and I must have forgotten to put a space there because then it goes right into 1986 here. Bo Jackson's first home run, a 475-foot blast, longest at Royal Stadium. All right. But yeah, Golden Girls debut. I had no idea they went that far back. I thought that was a recent show.
No,
Like,
it's really old.
So they had been doing that. You know, were they still making episodes up until
No.
2009?
It maybe ran, maybe, I don't even think 10 years.
Huh.
I doubt if it ran 10 years.
And here I was thinking that was new. I legitimately
Betty
thought.
White? Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, she still does stuff. You know, up until the day she died, she was doing things.
She's really active.
You know?
Incredible woman, actually.
Yeah. You know, and I've said it 1,000 times, and I'll say it 1,001 times more. Betty White fell to the Queen in a Highlander-style duel. There could only be one, and the Queen cheated. So.
Your mom always referred to her in one of the first TV shows she saw way back when. Was Handy Hints by Betty White.
Oh
It was on
yeah, I
TV.
remember that. Yeah, Mom did say that.
Yeah.
So. What else do we got here? Okay, we got that one already, so get rid of that. 1986 CBS premiere of True Life: The Last Days of Patton. I'd like to watch that actually.
What was that again?
The CBS premiere of True Life: The Last Days
never heard
of
of that.
Patton.
Huh.
I'm gonna look this up here on YouTube. I'd like to watch this if it's not too long, or something, or maybe we can use The Last Days of the Tragic Death. Well, it's not on YouTube at least. So, Patton drinking, telling the Academy Awards to lose his number. Well, that was George C. Scott,
that
though.
was the actor. Yeah.
Oh, he kind of looks like that's George C. Scott. Now that I'm
Yeah.
really looking at him, but at first glance, I thought that was Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
With that expression. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. 1986 NFL Bears running back, the Bears. Walter Payton scored his 100th career rushing touchdown and gains 177 yards, surpassing 15,000 yards career plateau and 13-10 overtime win over visiting Philadelphia Eagles at Soldier Field, Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah.
All right.
Great running back.
Yeah, man.
Made a movie of him.
Yeah.
Called the other guy's name, kind of his friend that tagged along with him. I can't remember the name of it though.
Walter Payton movie. Let's see here. Walter Payton movie. Football Life? That's a TV episode. No. The Walter Payton Story, 2002.
That could have been it. Yeah.
Like,
That could have been it.
Sweetness, the Walter Payton Story? Was he called The Sweetness or something?
I don't know what the sweetness is.
Walter Payton, A Football Life? Walter
I
Payton?
don't know.
I don't know. A Football Life? I'm getting A Football Life. Maybe it's A Football Life. 1986 as well. Saskatchewan and Hamilton play first CFL regular season overtime game. Okay.
Canadian Football League.
Yeah. 1987, Cal Ripken Jr.'s record streak of 8,243 consecutive innings, 908 games, was finally broken. Wow. All right. 1989, Calgary Flames became the highest NHL team to play in USS, or became the first, not highest, became the first NHL team to play in the USSR, won 4-2. All right, USA, USA. You know, we went to their home and we took it.
Yes.
1989 as well, Jeff Reardon, I almost read that as a different word entirely, was first to record 30 saves in 5 consecutive seasons. I almost read that as like retarded. I'm like, wait, what? No, it's Reardon. 1990, what do we got here?
Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr., Ken Griffey Sr., and I don't know why that's so hard to say.
Yeah.
But Senior and Junior hit back-to-back home runs in first inning.
All right, so father and
cool,
son.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is.
You know,
That
that's
is
almost
way
as
awesome.
awesome as like, you know, doing a crisscross on the waves. Like, yeah,
You're dropping in and I'm going under you.
yeah.
1991, San Diego State freshman running back Marshall Falk rushes for NCAA record 386 yards and scored 7 touchdowns as the Aztecs beat Pacific 55-34.
All right. Pretty cool.
1992, first subway car completed to be exported from the U.S. to Taiwan.
Cool. So we're exporting subway. Well, we used to at least.
Yeah.
Like, as early as far recent as '92. You know. So, hey, bring it
That's
back.
surprising.
Yeah.
1993, MCA and Virgin Records released album Bat Out of Hell 2, Back to Hell by singer Meatloaf, written and produced by Jim Steinman, and arrived 16 years after the first installment, and features the hit I Do Anything for Love, but I Won't Do That.
I'd do anything for love, but I won't do that. And the first time I ever heard that commercial, to my recollection, was for an M&M commercial. Or I heard that song was from an M&M commercial. 1995, Body Worlds opened in Tokyo, Japan, and that's that body, the dead bodies, right? That I took Mom through at the Luxor that one time. The bodies.
Oh.
Like all the people who donated their bodies, and then, you know, they had, you know, they showed like the different muscles, the different veins, like, you know, like.
Is that what that is? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I'm asking. Like, let me just look up this article. This will answer our question. I think
My
it is.
first reaction was a gym or
Yes,
something.
it is.
It is. That's exactly
It is.
what
Yeah.
it is.
No. Like, you know, these
Yeah, I
things.
passed on that baby.
Yeah. Well, you know, like it's fascinating. Like
Yes, it is.
it's gruesome, and you know, it made me lose my appetite. But you know, you got to know what's going on, you know, inside of you,
Yeah.
man. You are a spirit controlling a flesh puppet, okay? Like spinning on a rock, hurling through space in the infinite nothing. All right, like come on. What else do we got here? 1996, A's Mark McGwire was 13th player to hit 50 home runs in a season. Okay. That was like, I think slightly before he started juicing or something. Like,
I don't know the exact dates when
Yeah.
he started, but yeah.
yeah,
Sounds like he may have already.
yeah. 96 as well. Oh, here we go. England Test cricket fast bowler Dean Healy equaled the WR by taking his
There it is.
third hat trick off the English county season for Kent versus Hampshire at Canterbury. No, I had to hold you down. I couldn't let you escape. You know,
Cricket.
I have to torture you, old man.
Cricket. I need to find out where that sound switch is. There it is.
It doesn't
Okay.
exist.
Yeah.
It's a figment of your imagination. 96. What do we got, good Sir King?
New York Met Todd Huntley sets record of 41 home runs by a catcher.
All right.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
1997, Chicago White Sox retire Carlton Fisk, number 72.
The only Fisk I know of is Kingpin. Whatever his first name, Atticus Fisk or whatever his name is.
Hey, it's William? Is it William?
William Fisk? Yeah, I think you're right. William Fisk. I'm just going to look it up here really quick. William Fisk. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Kingpin is popping up. For whatever reason, I have... Oh, there's a painter named William Fisk, apparently. Okay. Cool. The more you learn. What else do we have? 98.
The British TV show The Royal Family, written and starring Caroline Aherne and Craig Cash. Also starring Ricky Tomlinson and Sue Johnson, premieres on BBC Two.
Ah.
All right.
Alright. 1998, telecommunications companies MCI Communications and WorldCom completed their $37 billion merger to form MCI WorldCom. And why are we allowing this? Like, isn't that against the law? Anti, what's the word? Antitrust law, monopoly. We broke up AT&T.
Yeah.
99, Kiribati, Nauru, and Tonga joined the United Nations. All right, those are clearly African nations, I believe. Not to assume, but it sounds like it. Like,
for sure.
So, 2001, historical national prayer service held at Washington National Cathedral for victims of the September 11th attacks. A similar service was held in Canada on Parliament Hill, the largest vigil ever held in the nation's capital. All right, yeah, that was some trying times back then, dude. Like, man, world history, and I'm just really, cognitively have the mental, my brain is developed enough to really start understanding, the world. Mm-hmm. And the first thing it does, hey, welcome to high school, national tragedy, like 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah.
Well, what boggles my mind is adults now in their 20s have no memory of it whatsoever.
Oh, it didn't even exist.
Just history to them.
Well, I mean, like, when we were there on the 10-year anniversary, like
over at Nixon.
Yeah, the Nixon thing. They had that little exhibition. They had one of the fire trucks that was flattened.
Yeah.
There that they transported all the way here, and what was it that you told me?
I said all these kids running around. It's just history to them.
Yeah.
They have no memory of it whatsoever.
Yeah. They weren't born yet.
Yeah.
They weren't even a glimmer in their daddy's eye. Like, and now we have people who not only are graduating high school, they're graduating college, they're 21.
Anybody, yeah, 22 or 3.
Or 23, yeah. Well, 23 and younger, like, hell, Rombusser, you remember him?
Yeah.
He was born in, 2002 or something. Like,
okay, so again, afterwards.
Yeah. So I was just like, wow.
It's like me, World War II is just history.
And that really made me feel old. I was like, I was just getting into high school and before you were born. Like, oh, man, ugh. Like, yikes. The people you meet online, man, you never know. What do we got here in 2003?
Baltimore running back Jamal Lewis sets NFL single game rushing record when he runs for 295 yards and 2 touchdowns on 30 carries in the Ravens' 33-13 victory over Cleveland. Nice.
The Ravens.
Yep.
You know what the Ravens should do every time they win a game?
Oh, I can hear this now. What?
They should come out with an Edgar Allan Poe type Raven or something aimed at the opposing team. Nevermore. I don't know.
You've been just holding on to that one, haven't you?
I just made it up. So, yeah. The Telltale Heart. What other works has he done? He's done a lot of works. No. We have a couple more 2003s. Huh.
Estonia approves joining the European Union for a referendum.
Yeah.
In a referendum.
Yeah. All right. And we have another referendum. That's really interesting.
Sweden rejects adapting to the euro in a referendum.
All right. So we have a referendum for Estonia joining the EU, and then Sweden in a referendum same day, same year. They're both having referendums. Well, no, they're not rejecting the European Union. They're just rejecting the euro.
Okay.
One's joining the European Union, the other doesn't want the currency.
Yeah.
So, but that's still weird.
Wow.
Yeah. What else do we got? 2007.
2007 restrictions on the traditional Latin Mass are officially removed in Roman Catholic Church as Pope Benedict the 16th
Yeah.
motu proprio summorum pontificum sounds like a spell takes effect.
Moto Porpio
So,
Superium Pontificum Expelliarmus Exterminatus.
so I was thinking about the Sweden thing. So if Estonia does join the European Union, aren't a bunch of Estonians going to want the euro now and therefore make it more useless?
Oh God.
Because more people.
Because that's
So
just
that's
what
why.
the EU
Is that
needs,
why
another
Sweden
Greece.
was like, we don't want the euro no more. No.
Huh. Yeah, that is a good question. Because they don't need another Greece. They already have one. Like, huh. 2009, David Attenborough and Prince William officially opened the Darwin Centre at the National History Museum in London in what is the museum's most significant expansion since 1881. Whoa! Wow, and as a museum lover, I'm surprised I never heard about that. Then again, it was David Attenborough and Prince William, this guy who kind of looks a little like Brian Stelter.
Yeah.
Like,
He's the next king. He's in line.
Yeah.
I still see.
I mean, seriously, he looks like that one photograph of Brian Stelter right there. Like, it's really
Yeah.
creepy. You know what picture I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2014, the United States defeated Serbia 129-92 to win the 2014 FIBA Basketball World Cup. Well, yeah, you know, like we are the basketball people. 2015, 14-year-old Texan Ahmed Mohammed was arrested at school when a homemade clock was assumed to be a bomb. Mark Zuckerberg and U.S. President Barack Obama sent supportive tweets. So this is our thumbnail today. This kid, 14-year-old.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, and oh man, dude, like, you know, the freaking PC police had a field day. Oh, is it because he's Arab? Oh, you assume he made a bomb because he's from freaking, like, you know, Uzbekistan or whatever the hell, you know, like, oh
I think
man.
it more looks like a bomb. Oh my God, what is this?
Well, yeah, but they
And then
but
that compounds it,
well,
but, yeah.
they utilized that as a way to invalidate the entire argument by saying, oh, you're just racist. Oh, you're prejudiced. Oh, you're white supremacist. Oh, screw off, man, dude. Like, yeah, it probably didn't help, but, like, you know, it's not the reason. So, what else do we got here? Another 2017.
Bodleian Library reveals earliest evidence of the zero symbol in 3rd or 4th century Pakistan manuscript, though carbon dating through
That's
carbon.
really interesting, you know, like the concept of nothing, you know, because there always is something. Even nothing is something because the word nothing is a thing to describe itself, therefore it invalidates itself by its own existence. But, you know, like, I have one coin, I have none coin, you know, like, and that's, you know,
It's still value.
yeah, like, but, like, wasn't it, like, what was one of the ancient civilizations, you know, that invented the concept of zero? Like, who invented it?
Isn't it? What's his name?
Byzantines or something? Like, who invented the zero? Mesopotamia. Okay,
there
yeah,
you go,
that's what I was thinking of. Yeah,
that's right.
Mesopotamia. Yeah, Mayan scientific achievements for whatever reason. Why is this ad still playing? I can't get rid of it. All right, well, goodbye. What else do we have? 2019.
2019 drone attack on Abaquate oil plant in Saudi Arabia takes out half of the country's oil production.
Whoa.
Holy shit. And 5% of the world's.
And what was that
Yemen
from?
Houthi rebels claim responsibility.
A
Oh my
drone
god.
attack.
Oh, that was from. That's what I was wondering if that was from the one from Iran.
I remember that happening.
Yemen Houthi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Matt, I mean, like, you know, like, you remember the slaughter bots, right?
No.
Such. Well, let me bring this up here really quick. I'll just play this, you know, like, this little clip here. Slaughter bots. Like, This is a whole thing here.
We have one of these, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Your kids probably have one of these.
Yeah, this is a whole thing. Like, basically, the technology is already here. You know,
Yeah,
now
yeah.
with drone attacks, like, you know,
This film's so fucked.
yeah, this scares the hell out of me. You've got to see this. We have got to burn this into your freaking cerebral cortex. This movie, you know, this is terrifying.
Anyway, the Yemen Houthis are backed by Iran.
Yeah. Okay. What do we have here in 2020? Astronomers report possible sign of life on Venus after detecting phosphine in planet's atmosphere by telescope. So there might be, you know, some kind of life, and you know, life is we only know life based off of what we see.
Of course.
And even what we see here on Earth, we still learn new things like extremophiles that live inside liquid magma.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, so if life can
We
live,
didn't know it was impossible. In
Yeah.
our wildest dreams, we didn't think that was possible.
yeah, but it is.
Yeah.
So if life can survive in liquid magma, if life can survive in, you know, the Arctic tundra, if life, like the tardigrades, the water bears, can survive in the vacuum of space, then
Well-
certainly something is living on Venus and stuff, you know?
Well, just for where we're at, our definition of life is extremely limited.
Yes, you know, and we're carbon-based life forms. Maybe something out there is based off of, like, crystalline energy. You know, we don't know. So,
Yeah.
2020 as well, Israel became the first country to announce a second national lockdown due to the Kung Flu for 3 weeks. Let us not forget who led the charge into bringing in all of this pandemic fascism. 2020, Jakarta, Indonesia's biggest city of 10 million, imposed widespread restrictions again. Amid warnings the healthcare system was on the verge of collapse. Propaganda, propaganda, propaganda. 2021, California Governor Gavin Newsom defeated a state vote to recall him from office, and in response, he imposed, you know, strict restrictions and all that stuff. Again, I remember all that. I voted to get him the hell out of office.
Yeah.
You know, and I actually, you and I, we had a debate, and you were against getting him out initially.
No, never.
Yeah. Well.
Well, you had to have justifiable cause.
Yeah.
And they did.
Yeah.
So then I was against. I'm against anybody trying to take out of office because of their political beliefs. No, it has to be something that you did incorrectly or broke the law or whatever. You have to have some specific reason to for me,
Yeah.
to get someone out of office, not just because you don't agree with their
Yeah.
political beliefs.
Yeah. 2021, U.S. recorded lowest level of people living in poverty since records began in 1968, 9.1% versus 11.8% in 2019 due to increased government aid. Okay, so lowest level of people. So government aid taking people out of the poverty line. Yeah, sure. No, that is such hocus pocus bull crap. That is so lie. 2022, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis sent two planes of Venezuelan immigrants to Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And as it says here, as a political ploy. Well, yeah, because, you know, you don't know until it's on your doorstep.
Yeah.
And man, they got them out of there so quick, dude.
With loves and hugs.
Yeah,
They got them out of there
yeah,
within 24
yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
They're off the island.
Yeah.
But we love you.
Yeah. Well, you know, why don't you love them? You know, bring them in your own home. You know, these are the people that are sitting there telling that we should, you know, have these asylum seekers, you know, being in an extra bed in our own home. Well, you know, you have these lavish, you know, apartments and houses and mansions and everything. You have more than enough room. Why don't you lead by example?
Here's the crux to it. Of course, it's today's date, September 14th. When's that? The end of summer, fall's beginning.
Yeah.
So they have all these structures because it's a summer tourist season over there. Summer's over. They had nothing but places to put people.
Yeah.
Get them out of Dodge. We don't want them here, but we love you, hug you, and kiss you. You're so
Yeah.
wonderful. You people get out of here. I love that. What hypocrites.
Yep. 2022, musician R. Kelly was found convicted of further sex crimes in Chicago, including producing child stuff abuse imagery. I can't even read this on YouTube, or I don't even want to read this if I was allowed. Disgusting. You know, there's
Sick.
you know, there's
Yeah.
not enough we can do to this guy that'll make it, you know, him serve his.
The best thing we
just
can do is just
deserve.
move on.
2022 procession of Queen Elizabeth II's coffin from Buckingham Palace to the Palace of Westminster to lie in state, with queues of people paying their respects forming 2.5 miles, or 2.4 miles, 3.8 kilometers. Wow, so that's almost beating out In-N-Out right there. So, yeah, speaking of which, do you mind if I go get us some In-N-Out after this?
Yeah, we can do
Yeah,
that.
okay. And then 2023, huge loss of life in Libyan floods could have been avoided with functioning weather service. According to World Meteorological Organizations, amid reports death toll could reach 20,000. Jeez. And, okay, we have two more here. Hunter Biden, son of U.S. President Joe Biden, obvious owner of the drugs that were found in the White House that they just... You know, they can find you. They can find you with 3 pixels on January 6th.
Yeah.
But they cannot find out who the owner was inside of the White House.
Yeah, you can't. I don't know whose it was. Don't care. But they know who it was. There's no way they cannot know.
But we have here indicted. You know, Hunter Biden, son of U.S. President Joe Biden, indicted on charges tied to the possession of a firearm while using narcotics.
Yeah.
Spaghettios.
Yeah.
You know. Throw that guy under the prison, you know. So. And last but not least, a NASA probe into UFO sightings. Actually, good Sir King is back, so let's let him read once he gets himself situated. He is very laggy. There we go. There we go. All right. We have one article. I was saving it just for you, Sir King. One article left.
Oh boy, an U.S. NASA probe into UFO sightings. Inconclusive. Largely due to lack of good data, found no evidence of aliens, but doesn't rule out the possibility.
Oh, there you
There's a
go.
lot of nothing.
Yeah. Oh. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links you may be interested in, including, well, but not limited to, all things Omni Coalition. So much history has and continues to be made on a daily basis, and we can only bring you a portion. Please check our sources for more. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day at 11 in the morning Pacific time, or at least try to, 12 noon Mountain, 1 Central, and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. We do have other shows, from history to news, movie reactions and reviews, video memes, Omni Kitchen, and everything else in between on Talk Show. Check the underbar. For all of you and all of us, I am A.O. Xander.
King's Refuge.
Golden Loon.
And you, viewer, are you. Thank you once again so much for joining. And until you catch us again, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodly woodly woos.